What's up everyone, Sean here, and today on the Hawke Talks I wanted to talk about something a little special about a certain home console that's also a handheld. Of course, I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch. 2 years have already passed by for this little guy right here, which it's kind of unbelievable already. I mean, time is flying, and we're definitely seeing a lot more games this time around for this. It's looking a lot more hefty as a home console to own from yours truly, Nintendo. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents about it, if I haven't, in case gave my opinion about it a year later. So here it is, 2 years later, my thoughts and my current opinion about it. Overall, I still really like it. There's definitely a lot more games this time around. A good amount of first party titles, especially with Smash out in December of 2018. Of course, in the past we had Mario, we had Zelda at launch, Breath of the Wild. Now, things are looking a lot more brighter for its future. We're getting a lot more JRPGs. I know, just one of them came out on the Switch was Tales of Vesperia, which I have right there, I believe, on the home screen. But it's a great game and all, but it's something I've been waiting for. But there's a lot more games to look forward to in the future. It's just such a, it's such a genius idea. It all just comes together. It's just something you can just plop down on your little counter or whatever, or wherever you are. Take these controllers apart, and they become little mini controllers. And then whenever you want to put them back on, it's got that satisfying click to it still. And my Switch is still running pretty well. I think the battery is still holding up, even though I've been putting that dock for a really long time. I think some people keep it out of in and out of the dock if they actually want to play or whatever, just so they can preserve the battery life for sure. But I've kept it in the dock, and the battery life is looking pretty good. I mean, it's not still 100% as I just hold this, but I don't know, maybe if I actually play it, it'll tell me how much battery life it has. But despite that, I do have some battery packs or whatever to keep this charged or whatever for a little longer. And point being here, though, it works great for what it's trying to do, which is a home console that plays great, graphics and all, and you can take it on the go. This with pretty much the same kind of graphics on a tinier screen like this, but still big enough for you to enjoy it while you're outside, or outside your house at least. And there was one scenario I definitely was able to kind of pretty much see its capabilities, which is I was in Japan, and we were on a bullet train, and while we're going to Nagoya or whatever from the Tokyo airport and vice versa, I put this down on a little counter, and put down the little stand, and I haven't have a cover and everything, so it has multiple angles and stuff like that. This thing has only one little angle, but I have a little cover that kind of makes it stand itself up with multiple angles, and that worked great. And I use the Joy-Cons for the controllers, and I played something like Mario Rabbids Kingdom or something like that. It was a little tactical RPG that was made by by Ubisoft, and it was such a perfect system. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, that's what it was. It was such a perfect system in that situation. And I was also was able to play with it in the airplane, of course, while I'm in flight. It's becoming such a great little piece of machinery right here, because you can take it on the go, but it's got more. It's gonna have more and more fighting games. It's gonna have more and more JRPGs, and I don't know. It's becoming the system that everyone wants games to have here. And pretty much, people were saying, "Oh, we want Soul Calibur on here. Oh, we want, some of the Call of Duty games or something. I don't know, like some some games that like seemingly impossible, like or GTA 5 on here. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see about its future. And well, maybe we'll see some of the unlikely third-party titles to make it onto the Switch. But we're definitely getting some good ones still. We're getting Pokemon this year. Hopefully, Animal Crossing comes this year as well, assumingly. And those are the two games I very much am looking forward to for 2019 at least. So this year is looking solid for me already. Of course, we're getting Mortal Kombat on this little thing, and it's such a magical little thing, and it's continuing to just grow and grow and grow. I think, in fact, around this time as we speak, it's sold over 30 million units. That's pretty nuts, and it's well oversold its competitors, I think. So, or at least it's pretty close to it already, and it's only been out for 2 years, which is crazy. And it's got a now, of course, even right now the library of games is pretty decent. But starting from this year, I think it's starting to really looking solid. We got that Pokemon Switch game that's coming, Sword and Shield, and it's only for the Switch, so that means there's no limitations whatsoever that's holding it back. Like what happened with Smash 4, we didn't get certain characters because they were difficult to pull off in the 3DS version. So that sort of happened. But we're getting down on this little thing. This is gonna have Pokemon on the big screen, and you can still take it on the go. And same with Animal Crossing, you can take it on the go or put it in the dock and play it on your big screen with the really pretty graphics and all. I mean, even with the Link's Awakening remaster that's coming, it still looks pretty. It's still technically pretty on if you look at it from a technical perspective. You can bash on its art style all you want. I personally wasn't too attached to Zelda around that time, just because it's something I didn't really grow up with, unlike Ocarina of Time or something like that. So that's just my personal feelings on it, but there are still some problems with it. I mean, the online service sucks. Let's just face it, it still sucks still, and I paid for the 1 year thing, which is $20, which is the only plus on the online service, which is super cheap. But I think it's really reflecting its price, which is it barely has anything other than the capability of playing online with friends, like Smash, Splatoon, blah blah blah, and the online is still really shaky. I really hope that Nintendo starts to really pick up on the whole online experience. I know that's kind of their first time doing this, and they definitely have still a long way to go. We haven't really seen the bonus games that come with the subscriptions for each month, whatever, like what PlayStation is doing. But I think for the most part, though, this is such a great system. It's still $300, but I think this could be like some of the greatest $300 that anyone can spend for a video game console, because again, it does what it does. It can be both a home console and a portable little game system. It's making the 3DS super obsolete, and it's really showing that that Nintendo is really shifting away from the 3DS, very much so, and surely, especially with the fact that a traditional Pokemon game that's coming to the Switch is not going to be on the 3DS or the handheld system, which Pokemon has always been known for. We're looking at this as our go-to console when it comes to Nintendo now. Period. There's not going to be a 3DS. There's nothing. We're definitely not going to be looking at a 4DS. You know what I mean? this is gonna be the Nintendo console after some time. So it's gonna be really interesting. Back when we were still speculating about the next system while the Nintendo Wii U was still kind of out. It was gonna be the all-in-one system, and it was called Project NX and stuff. The X meant like it's gonna cross all these other systems and stuff. But what I think what it meant was it loosely meant that it was gonna be an all-in-one system. I think this is the all-in-one system, unlike the Xbox One, because the Xbox One is supposed to be named after the all-in-one system, which we all know how the Xbox is kind of right now. And in fact, they're even like kind of shifting their focus towards the Nintendo Switch, seemingly, right? It really just shows what kind of impression this system has left on other companies. And when it comes to competitors, we could be seeing the PlayStation 5 being something like this. And I think I think they'll definitely attempt to try to make a portable home console with a much bigger screen. I think in fact it might be designed into like a laptop per se. It's like just a laptop just for gaming. I think that's what's gonna happen. That's just my prediction for the PS5. But for right now, we have the Nintendo Switch. This is the system to play all the Nintendo games on, and all the other third parties that are coming, like Astral Chain and whatever. Of course, we have Bayonetta that's only on Nintendo's lineup, and we could potentially see another Star Fox game, or of course the next Pikmin game, and hopefully the next F-Zero game on the Switch that everyone's been nudging Nintendo about. I think the future we're looking at for this is still bright. Of course, I think it's been universally been or critically acclaimed, and the marketing is doing a much better job than before. We saw a Nintendo Switch ad in the Super Bowl, I think 2 times in a row now, right? So that really shows you how much they're kind of focusing on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to really getting the word out there, and they're really doing a good job doing it with their directs. I think they're just on top of their game, and even with our man Reggie Fils-Aimé retiring soonish as I record this, Nintendo is still going to be on top of their game, especially with Nintendo of America, and we're probably going to see another version of the Switch coming out at some point. Probably going to be like a Switch Lite and maybe a Switch Pro or something like that, like a Switch X or something. I can kind of smell it coming, but for right now, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this version. But we'll have to see how whichever version comes out or exists for this little guy right here. And I think a Switch Lite, or like a more affordable version of the Switch, is something they could do, because this is $300, and not every kid is gonna have $300 on hand so easily, right? Unless they become like YouTubers or something, but or they do very like they just like work very hard to save up their money and stuff, and finally get just the system, and then you have to save up again for the games and whatever, and the accessories, not to mention. I really do feel like, though, I mean, they need to. The one other thing I forgot to mention, though, when I don't like it, is that the Pro controller is mad expensive. It's $80, I think, or 70. Either way, I think it's super expensive. It's super pricey. The Joy-Cons are super pricey too, and of course, it's got all this technology in there, sure, but it's definitely overcharging it or overpricing it, and I think they really need to work on that. But It is what it is, and you can definitely play it with the Joy-Con controller or grip, whatever, the dog face or doggy face, and that could work as a cheaper alternative. I tried it with Breath of the Wild, and I thought it worked. I thought it did work fine. If you don't have a Pro Controller, but if you do have a Pro Controller, then you know, whatever, it's fine. It does feel good. It's just such a simple looking controller, and yet it just feels really good in the hands. So it just goes to show, this little guy is doing so many wonders, and I'm really glad that Nintendo was able to really pull this off really well so far. Hopefully they continue to keep up the good work and come out with, you know, all the exciting games. And really looking forward to Pokemon, looking forward to Animal Crossing, Bayonetta 3, of course, and hopefully they'll come out with, you know, all the other Nintendo titles that deserve its spot, like F-Zero and Star Fox. Hopefully they'll get a you know, redemption at on the Switch. And you know, there's the only thing right now is what, Starlink, you know, the one with the little toy ship that you can like customize or whatever. That's like the most like Star Fox game that's not Star Fox, you know what I mean? And I think it definitely deserves a redemption, if, you know, with that. So but yeah, anyway, I think that's for the most part my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that, where I'm at currently with the Nintendo Switch after 2 years, you know, its launch. Mostly positive. It still needs some room for improvement. But hey, you know, it pulled off the whole handheld console thing really well, or portable home console thing really well. And again, I just really want to see more games on this, you know. It's only 2 years, so it's only gonna grow. It's only gonna get better. So so that's it for my like thoughts and opinions, stuff like that, for the Nintendo Switch after 2 years so far. And it's been a good 2 years on this little guy so far, and looking forward to more of this. If any of you have any comments, as always, please leave them down below. Love to check them out. Hit the like and subscribe. You know the drill. And check out all the sponsors and stuff like that in the description below. And yeah, so again, this has been the Hawke Talks on the Nintendo Switch 2 years later. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.